Hi guys, this evening we're going to be going over products by a company called Mechvape, formerly known as Mechlife. This company have been known to do a variation of different things. They did their own version of the rebuildable PMP coil, which in my mind was a lot better than the original version. They also did a podkit called the Rattel XS, which was a kind of like an RPM style podkit from what I remember, but also had its own RBA too. They'd had RDAs like what was it called? The Slantra. I believe they've done mesh RDAs, and they've also done a variety of mech mods and a side-by-side. I vaguely remember the Paramore, which was, I think it was a 21700 side-by-side. Some of you may or may not realise, especially if you like to get a bit of a bargain every now and then, they also did coils as well. What was it, the Mechlife Fallout coils kind of thing? I think that was Mechlife. It might have been Fallout, but I could be wrong on that one. But yeah, they're still going about a fair bit. So this is why I'm looking forward to this piece of kit. So without giving you too much information on it, I'm going to just come straight down onto the unboxing, have a little chat about it as we're going through it, and basically have a play there and then. First things first, this is the piece of kit I brought. As you see, a side-by-side pod kit, 50 watts. On the back, dual mesh, colourful screen, up to 50 watts, Type-C USB, 18650. So this is what makes things a little bit more intriguing. The airflow, it's a stepped airflow system. Anti-lock top fill, 2 amp charging. Personally, if you're using external, I do recommend using an external charger. But yeah, what I received with this alone, because I paid separate for the other packs, well, at least I believe I received it with it anyway. A pair of dual 1 ohm pods. Was it dual meshes? So on a single you'd be running it between 10 and 15, and on dual you run it between 16 and 25 at 0.5 ohms. And I've got a pair of these. So this is what's going to make things a little bit interesting. Now also what I got here is the other pod variants. Here we have, oh, that helps, the same one. The next one we have the 0.6s. In dual mode you have it on 0.3, so that's almost like a direct lung coil, I'd imagine. What wattages does it give? I can't remember the precise wattages on that one. They're actually online. I should have probably really downloaded them. 0.8 and the dual of 0.4, which would also be kind of a restricted direct lung. So, you know, you have like a mouth to lung option or a restricted direct lung option. You have restricted direct lung / direct lung option, or you have a loose MTL / direct lung, maybe, you know, restrict. I don't know. We'll see how these go. I mean, I know the speed I want to be going over this. I'm actually just going to be using one of these, one of the 1 ohm ones, because that's how I like my kits. I mean, it's kind of hard to not to really think of it like that, really, is it? So I'm going to, so let's get on the unboxing. I'm just going to fast forward this bit. Right, straight away, as you see me trying to cross-examine that pod, I have absolutely no fucking idea what it's supposed to be. I'm going to presume it's one of these one ohm pods. I'm going to hope it's one of these one ohm pods, because that's the one I'm going to go for straight away. I really wish they put that on the market in. I'm going to treat it as one. On the bottom you have your contacts here. They don't look like a significant airflow size difference there. So you have your contacts here. That would be going into basically like here. When you've got the other ones open, always make sure you've got a tab. There's no tab on the bottom. As you put your battery in, it should be pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. There we go. You put that in. As you can see, it's a little bit loose. If you need to tighten it, there we go. And that's that. Let's just pop that in. That's a 0.3. So if that's a 0.3, that would split up from a 0.6. So reading that as that. One, two, three, four. Power off. Right, now the power's off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back on. There's literally only a one button function, so everything you're going to have to do, keypad lock, keypad still locked, there we go, 4 for unlock, check atomizer. Well, let's fucking fill this up first and see what happens. So the filling should be relatively easy on this. I mean, this is pretty generic, like most pods, side fill pods. Good thing about this side fill pods, it shouldn't, in theory, I would say that's 2 mils TPD, I'd guess. I could be wrong. It looks slightly thicker to an Argus pod, but you know, it won't be much off. This is a 50-50 6 milligram. I am going to try to get it running in single mode. It's not touchscreen. Right. See, max here would be 50 watts. So if this is a 0.3, you know, I'd be wanting, how can I switch it over from dual mode? Can we long press it? See, I can't tell how to... So you've got your puff counter, you've got the D's for your dual mode. How can I switch it over? Right, there we go. So that helps. Two button press, that's single mode. Another 2 button pushes it into dual. So basically what happens in here is, what you're going to be lighting up, you've got 2 types of coils in here. You've got a single and, well, as I said, yeah, you've got 2 types of coils, 2 coils in there. So you're going to only be heating one at a time. Hence the reason why it's in single or dual. I'm going to run this in Oh, what you call it? I'm going to run this in single mode. Single mode. What did we say? The single mode was wattage. I can't bloody remember. 0.6, 14 to 20 watts is what I need to be setting it at. 18 seems good enough. I really hope these little micro presses hasn't really burnt it out, because I've never used a Mechvape coil or pod in my life, so I don't know how strong it's going to be. I'm going to leave it for a few minutes and come back to it. One thing I like here, if you do have a problem here, if you've got a a laptop screwdriver kit, you should have the right fittings here. It's actually, I like the fact you can change the height of your battery a little bit. It probably depends on the wraps as well. I feel that's set up a fair bit higher than what it needs to be, but it's quite a simple design looking mod, to be honest, but it hasn't been done like this. Let's face it, we've never had a pod kit that will use this type of pods with an 18650, and I've been feeling that's one that should have been done a long fucking time ago. So I am really quite excited to get this running. I would like to put some of these Mechvape fucking battery wraps on here, but I really struggle with battery wraps, and I'm just too fucking lazy. I'm sorry, Mechvape or Mechvape, whatever you want to be called now. But yeah, make sure it's nice and snug. I'm not sure if I would like this exposed. I mean, technically I'm not going to get no leakage anyway, because, well, there's nothing to leak from, really, you know. You've got your pod there. If you put that on the outside, it's more likely to run down here, which is not exactly a very good, fantastic for either. But even if you put it on the inside, it's most likely to run off. So, you know, I mean, this would be more accessible if you were filling from this side. Not going to lie to you, just don't fucking overfill it. Here's your airflow. Your airflow's down there. How far does it reach out? Right, where's the lights? Right, so your airflow all travels all the way through. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't know how close that is or how blocked off that is on the inside. Having that a hollowed inside. I mean, I think I prefer having the airflow adjustment actually up here. But, you know, it is what it is on that. You mean, some, as I said, without stripping the inside and looking at its bare core, I can't tell what's in here. I don't know the layout of it. I'm using the Molicel P28A, so this would be good for direct lung. I'd probably consider a Vapcel 3000 milliamp one, which is about 20 amps for the higher ones, more mouth to lung kind of style. But yeah, let's have a little blast. Right, so the juice I've decided to run with this is the super good, super good fruit. You know, that's it. Which I bought at Expo, which is a 50/50. Absolutely fucking banging stuff. If you've not tried the fruit one, it's absolutely gorgeous. You know, so I might have to think about buying more, or at least more for review. So I've got a steady juice that I use, because lately I've been going a bit here, there, trying different juices, and it's kind of doing my head in. Because I can't tell if the coil's not right for them or the pod's not right for them, because I'm using different juices all the time. So I think I need to start venturing into that more. Disc juices for my reviews, and this I'll vape in my free time, kind of thing. But that's just me bullshitting on a little bit. So yeah, looking at it, it's a slim. If you look at the side, it's more slimmer and probably more shorter than an X-Ros. You know, it really is quite tiny. The only thing that puts it up is the big 18650 on the side. You know, that's the only thing that really gives it its weight. But if you think of it like that, That's going to give you anywhere between 3,000 and 2,800, depending on what battery you use. So that milliamp has gone up at least 3 times more than a podkit, a standard podkit, I should say. So yeah, let's have a quick blast. See if we can auto draw. Right. Guess what? We have auto draw. Right, that was actually on dual mode, which was about 30 watts. This is 18 on single. The flavour in that is actually pretty good. Open it up halfway. Alright, that's not too bad at all. I would like to know if this is... I mean, the bottom of this pod looks a bit compatible to... I want to say the Vupu Vinci ones. But, as I said, without having a Vinci pod here, don't take my word on that one, alright? So, as I said, the bottom of them looks quite similar to the Vupu Vinci's. But... Right, that's nice. Nice draw from that. Let's fully open that. There's still single mode. .6 is still like a restricted direct lung, even at 18 watts. It's not even in loose MTL, it's literally... Yeah, it might be a slight loose, very loose MTL. Right, let's go dual mode. 2 candles lit up, so that means dual. So if we're on 30 watts with the dual, apparently this can go from 28 at 0.3 to 38. So in theory, you should have absolute no issues with your high VG products. I'd say go 65, 35, something like that to be safe, because I don't like going 70-30 above 40 watts if you under 40 watts, if you get what I mean. I'd say go around about 65, 60 VG mark, but you know, we'll see how it goes. Let's loosen that right off. See, I like that. That is tasty, and that's 30 watts. I've got 6 milligram in this. Do I want to punch it? One, two, three. Let's go. Say 34. We're looking at hot now, so we're going into the red mark. I mean, it's even got the great thing is it's got your colours right there. What you're going to be punching out. What is your battery at the bottom? See, I like that. One thing I wish there was so far, I wish there was an option for a battery cap, a battery sled for this, even if there's something to a slight little lip for one to be put on if you wanted. You know, even if it's a clear one, you know, so if you're one of them that has all these fancy fucking battery wraps and things like that, say there was like a magnet here and here, well, let's just say in each corner, so it just goes dick, it slips on, bush, bish bash bosh, because by the looks of it, the adjustable thing slightly hangs out a bit, so you know, it's make it a slightly bit smaller. I mean, it's not exactly hard to fucking grab anyway. Slight bit smaller. Room for a thingamabob, a battery slide, and there you go. I mean, I'm not bothered by it being naked as it is, but some people might be. So, yeah, It's which market are you? Are you the one that mines exposed batteries, or are you the one that don't give a shit? That's how it's going to be done. My general thoughts of this, I think that so far it's been a fantastic product. It's extremely light I mean, I remember having an E-Leaf I stick 50 back in the day. I remember it being a lot more fucking heavier than this, and that had an internal LiPo, if I remember right. So considering that was 50 watts, that had to have had some sort of 18650 in. Whatever. And this is like, considering, as I said, the only thing that mismatched weight-wise is the battery. I feel like this could have been taken from the idea from their Paramore series. You know, I mean, it still has that kind of lookish, if you get what I mean. But I'm rather impressed. I'm not going to lie to you. So I'm going to cut this video here, and I'm going to use it a few days. And then I'm going to come back and tell you what I think then. So, you know, all right, right now I'm buzzing, but a couple of days I might be pretty fucked off. So, let's see. Going over this side by side for about a week now. I'm using the same pod. I've been running it in the dual mesh part as well as the single mesh. The battery life, obviously having an 18650 is absolutely fucking fantastic. One thing I do recommend is, because you've only got one field port, always put it to the outside. I've not had no particular serious issues with it. I've got something, there's a bit of a niggly point to me, as well as, well, I've got a couple of niggly points. The pod flavour that I'm getting off it, they don't last great. I mean, they're holding, I mean, a week in, it's holding quite well, but it doesn't seem to be as updated as a lot of the other mesh pods you get these days. I'm not sure if that's because they've decided to go for this dual mesh thing, you know. I mean, in a sense, that might be why. I mean, I've noticed, because I've spent most of the week on the single fire of the mesh, that the flavour went down, but as soon as I tripped it back up to the dual mesh, the flavour seemed to pick up a little bit more. So it's like it was concentrating on one mesh, on a single mesh first than the other, where I think it might have been a little bit better if the mesh was alternating a little bit. I don't know if that's what's actually happening inside. It might be a better idea for the pod life to do it like that, because that way, rather than focusing on one mesh to heat up, you're having the wear and tear gradually at a slower rate, because you're evening the wear and tear out. Another little niggly point is the puff counter. I seem to find if I change the battery out, or if I leave it switched off a while, the puff counter automatically resets, and that kind of does my head in, you know, because I can't quite tell of actually how much life I'm getting out of the pod. I mean, I can tell you now, I've used it for most of the week. It's not bad. I'm not going to lie to you, it's not bad. The pods aren't particularly very expensive for a set of two. I think they're about a $5-ish, £4, something like that. I mean, the only tricky part is I did buy this directly from Mechvape themselves. I kind of hope they get into the UK market. They're quite good little pods. They look like 2mm. They could be 2.5mm. But yeah, I think if they decided to do another rendition of it and decided to, as I suggested, do two like alternate heating of the coil, I think that might make the pods a little bit better quality, and it should at least double the lifespan of it, especially if you're only wanting to use it on the single. So yeah, I haven't had to try the other pods yet. I've been running this past couple of days at 0.3 on 30 watts. As it says here, it's only 11 puffs. I've got 78% battery. That's been most of the day today I've been using this, so that's still pretty good. As I said, I wouldn't have minded a little shell for the outside. I mean, they do give you the wraps if you want it to make your batteries look a little bit more better. Personally, I'd rather the case. But I suppose if you were going to do that, you'd have to kind of do a magnetic lip under your battery adjustment. And then you've got that big massive gap in between the battery adjustment and the shell itself, if you were to do that. So that could be another reason why they didn't. But as far as it goes, it's kind of heavy, but you've got an 18650 in it. But if you took that 18650 away, this thing's smaller than the fucking X-Ros. So, you know, you get some pretty good airflow for it. There's not many options. I mean, if I'm not sure if you can see, no, you probably can't see that, but there's a P on there for the puff counter. It's very bright. I wish you could, I couldn't see anywhere where there was any settings to change the brightness or change the fonts or change the theme or something like that. That would have been a little bit nicer. But other than that, it's a pretty solid little device. I'm not going to say it's the best of the best, but it's definitely, in my thoughts, a little bit more innovative. I would like to see an RBA version for the pod, but that's because I've seen Mechvape do the RBA PMP, which was fucking fantastic in comparison to the Vaping PMP RBA. So, you know, I mean, I think as far as it goes, I think there's only one company that's done an RBA for a podkit. Don't want to give them don't want to really shout it out, but you know, there's an open market for it, especially now as prices are starting to go up and up and up on vape products. It's going to be a lot more people looking into rebuildables or things like that, especially with disposables coming. I welcome this to the UK market. This is quite a cool little kit, personally. I've been running these Vape Cell B30s, the 20 amp ones, but as I said, I've not run it over 30 watts. I've been using the P28As by Monocells. Still pretty good, but as I said, I've not been running over 30 watts. I've been getting some pretty good life out of them. The screen's not so vibrant, it kills batteries. You know, obviously, if you're running it in dual mesh, your battery's going to go down a lot quicker than what it is in single mesh. So, yeah, I mean, that's my thoughts and opinions of the Mechvape side by side. Quite enjoyed it. Really pleased I got it. Whether or not I will carry on using it after I've expelled all the pods I brought, I don't know. I'm going to say I might give them another few more goes, buy another few more batches. Because I do like a pod kit on occasion. It's easy, you know, you just fill it up, where you fucking go, and that's it. And the fact it's got auto draw as well as button fire, I think that's still pretty good. They haven't forgotten any essentials from the pod kit. So yeah, I hope everyone's enjoyed this review, and I will catch you all soon. And if you haven't already, I hope you subscribe to the channel, and also come follow us on Dark Humour Vape's Facebook page, and I will catch you all soon.